This conference will now be recorded.
So this is the home page. So I'll just go ahead and create a new project. Let's say demo. So hi all, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. In this session, we are going to look at a short demo of NeoLoad tool. So I'm Naveen. I have a little over 6 years experience in performance testing and engineering. I'm a certified expert in NeoLoad. So without any ado, let's get started. So this is the home window of NeoLoad, and so we have so there are like three modules of of in NeoLoad. That is this design, runtime, and results. Design is used to create and develop test scripts, and also it's used to create a population which is useful for workload distribution, and there are monitoring servers which can be added to monitor the server performance, and runtime is used to create and set up these scenarios. There are various types of scenarios, and different scenarios are used for a different purpose, and then results are used to analyze the executions, right? So in this demo, what we are going to look at is like how a simple script can be recorded and then developed. um, yes, so let's start with the first step of recording. To record a script, you have to click on this start recording. So this just brings up the recording window. So here what we can see is the name of that specific script. Scripts are also called as user path in NeoLoad's terminology. And so I'll just um, I'm just providing the script name and record in. These are the containers that are available, which the script, the user actions are gets recorded into. And the client is the web browser, uh, and if I click on this button, I can see all these different types of web browsers which is are a part of this specific system. Means these are the web browsers that are available in this system. I'm going to use Microsoft Edge to record. We will discuss about this identify as a little later, and the other options as well later. And there is also some of the advanced options which we can discuss a little later. So these are the uh, settings that by default, and then just go ahead and click on OK. This will open up a Microsoft Edge instance with a port of 8090. Means NeoLoad will be able to spectate and see all the user actions, all the network traffic that is happening within this specific browser, and then it keeps recording it, right? So I'll so this is the recording bar. There are different actions here. So this means like it is in the recording mode. Can pause this recording, stop the recording, and these are the different different containers that this can be recorded. The transactions name that is provided, and these are the pre-fills and rendezvous points. So for now I have just provided launch. I'm just giving the web page name which I would like to record. So this is just a moment. It's throwing a certificate error. Please give me a moment. Okay, for some reason I'm unable to record it using Edge. I hope you can see my screen. So what I'll do is I will use Internet Explorer. So I'll just go ahead. Okay, chip it, click OK. So yes, so now we can see the port. Just providing the first transaction launch. So this is launching the web page. So this is a simple web application which deals with selling a pets. Okay, so I'd like to click on fish. Let's like browse the website page and click on angelfish on the item, and let's say I decide to go back to the home page. And if I click on this stop button, we will get this specific workflow ready. And so this is the post recording wizard. So what are the hosts that are involved during the recording? We'll be able to see it here. So fortunately, we see only one host that is a part of this specific recording. So we will just enable that, then click on next. And this is used for autocorrelation, which would search for dynamic parameters. And so there are parameters which is of already defined in the framework rules, and some of them are of generic dynamic parameters. So ideally it is recommended to skip this step, because the autocorrelation is a kind of a black box. We do not know what has been done by this system. So it is good to go ahead and give the skip the specific test. And here what we're seeing is the think time part, whether do we have to use the recorded think time, or we can overwrite with a specific value. So for now I'll just keep it the default value, use the recorded think time, and then click next and click on finish. So in this script, let's look at this the recorded one. These are the um, transactions that are involved, or the user actions that are involved to record during the recording. So if we expand, okay. So let me also show you the same with the Google Chrome developer tool. So I'm just refreshing this page. So these are the various elements that gets loaded in the backend, to which is making up the entire page, right? So there are like this image, there are many links that are associated. So there are like some of these are the information that are used to make up this entire page. So there is a main HTML document, and there are like CSS, GIFs, and and some of the image related resources that gets loaded. If we compare this, the similar kind of elements also gets loaded in the uh, NeoLoad. So it's what has been done is, it has completely recorded whatever the information that is getting passed as a part of this particular web page. Everything gets recorded, uh, including all of these non-HTML resources. This is a HTML resource, and followed by all of these are like non-HTML resources. This we can clearly see that uh, which resource belongs to what. So CSS is just a part of a style sheet, and below we can see only the images that are a part of this. And there is one more new page which is of .ico. It's just icons. And in the next in the following transaction, what we see is there is a while clicking on fish, there is an action, and we can also see some dynamic value, which we will see how we can handle this. and then there is the other actions. So these are the parameters that are involved. So here, uh, in view category there is no values, and in category id there is fish is getting passed, and view product nothing here, and in the product id some of the value is getting passed, that is the product information. And in the item, again we are able to see the item information is getting passed, and then again we are back to the actual home page. So if we see this part, right, recorded request, so I'd like to show here as well. In this recorded request, if we see, there is a get method. The method is get. So in the general what we see is the method, the url, and there are like status code, remote address, and etc. So all of these are just present right here as a part of our recorded request. So get method and the url, and below what we see is the request headers. And here only few request headers are as a part of the actual recording. Not all the attributes that are associated with the request is mandatory. Only few of them are mandatory, and even if we do not pass some of the request, it will still work. Okay. So now let's see on how we can try to correlate this specific value. So what we can do is we have to copy this value. So I have just copied it, and there is a feature called flag requests. Can bring up this feature, and so we are supposed to search this specific value in the recorded response. Okay, so there is a different uh, different attributes from this flag requests with various conditions and filters, right? So our interest is only in the recorded response. So we can click on this, and then can simply paste this value. So once we paste this value, we'll be able to see on which request that this specific value is getting generated. So we can see that there is a tick mark here, which means in this response that we are seeing it. So we can click on advanced. So this is earlier we saw this recorded request, and this is its corresponding response. So to find it, uh, press Ctrl F, which will bring up this find, and then simply paste this value. So once we paste this value, so this has navigated to that specific location where this specific value is getting generated. So now we know that this is where we can confirm that in this response that this specific dynamic value is getting generated, which is a J session ID. And this session ID is generally these session IDs are used to keep up the sessions. So I think we also have some experience in handling this banking related applications. For example, any bank that we take. So if we don't, if we are not active user, for example, if we are just like 1 minute away or 2 minute away, if we kept inactive, what happens is it'll just say like your session is expired. Please try to log in again. Please log in again. Something like that. And even banks have various uh, security related constraints. If we click on the back button again, it says like we have clicked on a black back button, and it will not allow us to proceed. So we can only go forward, right? So similar kind of so how these are managed is through these kind of IDs, and we would need to handle these IDs, right? So we can just go to the variable extractors. So variable extractors are used to extract certain all of these dynamic values. So here we can click on this creating a new extractor. So this brings up a variable extractor wizard, and here there are like what we see is the to provide a variable name. So I'll just give like J session ID. So where we are going to search this specific value, like body, header, both, or we are going to pass a different variable, right? So for now I'll keep it in body because we have seen this value in the body. And starting with, ending with are also translated as a left boundary and right boundary. So we can click use this text picker. By clicking this text picker, this will brings up the entire response. Okay, and if we paste this, and this has navigated to that specific value, and we have to select the left boundary. I'm selecting J session ID equal to has the left boundary. So now the left boundary is defined, or also called as starting with, and then the next is the right boundary. So this is going to be the right boundary. We so how this so what we are exactly doing here is like if we look at it, this is the value that we need, right? And this could be of any so every time that we log into the system, this value keeps changing, and what is not changing, we have to provide this as a left boundary and right boundary. That is, whatever the value that comes between this J session ID equal to and this pattern, the value that is comes between these two gets captured and then created as a variable, and that gets passed in the subsequent requests. Okay, so now we will just go ahead and select the right boundary. So after we select this, both starting with and ending with, we can see the value extracted from the recorded content. So this is the value that got recorded, extracted. Let's say like if I just remove this value, so what here it says is like the value that got extracted is this dynamic value along with this specific there is like double quotes. So I hope this is clear. So if I remove this equal to, again we can see this gets a part of this you know variable. I'll just go back. There are other modes doing it, so we will discuss all of them in the upcoming sessions. Click OK. So ideally, this has also created a regular expression. Like I think some of you may already know about a regular expression. So it has simply created uh, a JSession ID equal to, and then there is a pattern followed by this double quotes and greater than symbol. So once we have created this variable, that is we have extracted it, and we can simply click on this search and replace button, and this has the search and replace has come up with the search and replace wizard. What it says is the number of returned instances are 23, right? So these many instances that it could see in this application, in this script. So let's try. If we want to replace all, if we know what we are doing, we can just go ahead and click on replace all, or we can replace them manually, right? By clicking on replace manually, we know where all the this request is getting replaced, right? So we can click on replace. So so in all of these requests, this is going to get replaced. and almost in it, this is just appearing in every each and every request headers. So I'll just go ahead and click on replace all, and so it says like all of them has been replaced. So this is how we'll be able to do a simple manual correlation of this application. So uh, so in this batch, right, what are the things that we are going to learn? I'd like to show and another a project that we had done in the previous batch. So there are various things that we would be discussing on. Moving further, we are going to discuss on the unauthenticated and authenticated types of transactions. What is the basic difference between these two transactions? Um, what are validations and where it is supposed to be applied? Ideal location to be applied, and we are going to discuss on a variety of auto correlations, automatic configurations, manual correlation, advanced correlation, randomization. So all of these that we are seeing, right, these are the as a separate script that gets created for all of that. And we are going to look at some of the naming standards that is and best practices that are used in the industries. There is a variable manager, which is like a parameter, which we will be looking at some of these. So right now it is not there. This variable will be created, and some of the logical actions also we'll be looking at, like loop, random loop. So we are also going to create um, a custom code which we will write some data into a file, uh, a try catch and a rendezvous point. So this is all about in the design. These are different scripts that we will be creating, and in the population is just it's a very intuitive way to learn about the um, workload distribution. And so these are the various settings that are available, and we will be looking at this. And some of the monitors, we will add some sample monitors, and understand about different counters, that different performance counters that are a part of specific type of monitors. And as I said, in the runtime, we are going to look at all different types of scenarios, and how these scenarios are different from each other, and what are the purpose and objective of these different types of tests that are as a part of this performance testing. And of course the results, the different types of we are going to go with different executions, and how to analyze, how we can compare these executions, and so on and so forth. These are the things that we are going to discuss uh, in the upcoming sessions. Yeah. So that's the that's the information. So, you guys have any questions?
Hi Naveen, Raju here, Kasi Raju.
Hi, Raju. Good morning. Yes, please
Good
tell me.
morning. Yeah, thanks for your demo. Yeah, I have a few questions. First thing is, can you explain, maybe not this session and next session, what is the difference between the performance load runner and the NeoLoad
Hmm.
versus Jmeter? Will you be able to discuss these topics?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
So how our session will happen is like the first 45 to 50 minutes we are just going to learn about the tool, and
Mhm.
then there is going to be a separate Q&A session, which is only uh, like only for the live folks who are attending this, right? So that That won't be in the recorded part. So we can have a discussion. We can have a, so whatever the questions that you have, any clarifications from the tools perspective or from the business perspective, we can definitely have a discussion on that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So next thing is, will you able to cover mobile testing using the NeoLoad?
Yes, we can try, but this part of batch, it is not in the part of this portion, but we
Mm-hmm.
will try to cover if we have time.
Okay.
So mobile testing, it's ideally it is best to keep a separate sessions for mobile, because that would take some time, right? So we will not be able to cover the all the features and actions that are a part of this session.
Okay. Do you have any plans to have a separate session on the mobile performance testing using
Yes,
NeoLoad?
yes. So in the pipeline, we are having, we'll be coming up with one is already in almost in the process. That is for a web service, and the other parts, we are going to come up with a full-fledged course. And even for the mobile, there is going to be a full-fledged course which is in the pipeline. Soon we'll be announcing on that from the NeoLoad.
Okay.
How about
So
API testing? Sorry, but
thank you, Naveen.
Thanks, Raju. Yes.
how
So
about
somebody was.
API? Yeah, how about API testing? Do you guys? I just started this course just right now.
Uh-huh.
Where are you right now? Just to give me a glance of where we are right now.
Sorry, Carl, I did not understand your question.
So, where are we at the course? Is this like at the beginning of it,
It's a very
or
beginning. It's a very big. I mean, we haven't even started the course. It's just
okay?
a short demo that has been just
Yeah.
showcased.
Oh, you did some mentioning of correlation and things like that.
Yes,
I thought we were a
yes,
little bit advanced to the course.
yes. We haven't even started, so don't worry. So I think probably tomorrow, from tomorrow, we will be starting the sessions, the regular sessions.
Okay. Are we gonna cover API testing? Because that's gonna be important as well.
Yes, absolutely, sure.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So any other queries as a part of this course? Okay, I take that as a no. Fine, then we can wrap up this session. Thank you everyone for joining. If
Thank
you
you,
wish to
Naveen.
enroll, thank you. If you wish to enroll, kindly enroll for the session. From tomorrow, we would be starting the regular sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.